Hello and welcome back. Thank you for joining me on my colouring quests. Here today I am going to attempt to colour this page from the Hatsune Miku Colour in Heaven collection. Now this is the newer collection for Hatsune Miku. They did also previously have another one, and so this is completely new illustrations. They are not in the previous issue about Hatsune Miku and her friends. And I have chosen page 15, and I'm probably going to say this wrong, but the artwork is by Kirabagani. I don't know. Please correct me if you know how to say it. But I tried. And so on this illustration, this is a Hatsune Miku. There are also her friends within this book, like Mako, and a lot of them are Hatsune Miku, but you have Kagemini Len and Megarine Luka. I am really bad, sorry. Yeah, and Kagemini Rin, she's awesome. Rin and Len. I like that it has other characters in. I don't actually know much about Hatsune Miku, but I love the artwork, so I just Kaito. It's like a Christmassy, wintry page, and I love that there are some male characters in here. You do with anime books, it's more the more realistic colouring books where you're less likely to see men. I don't know why. Yeah. So yeah, I picked illustration 15. And yeah, I am going to attempt, and I say attempt, to make this have like glow on it. Like here you see here, I want to make this a glowing like pink colour. And I may also do some shine spots, which is what I'm going to do first. I will then go around the areas to see what I need to colour in. This probably doesn't make sense because, once again, words are not coming out of my mouth the way I intend them to. But yeah, I'm going to add a pink, magical, shiny glow, is what I'm trying to get at. And I'm probably not going to do her in the traditional colours. I may end up with some things the same colour, but I'm just going to go ahead and colour her however I want. I haven't actually got my colours out, so I'm going to pause the video, get the colours, and then I'll be right back. Right, so I have my colours, and I have picked out a Bengal Rose Deep and a French Rose in the Castle Art Gold pencils. I'm still at my brother's, and if you watched any of my videos of me colouring recently, I have been at my brother's for a while, and well, I have my Castle Art Gold pencils, so this is why these videos I'm all using the same ones. But yeah, when I get back home I will try and do a video using something else, but these are really good pencils, so they're like some of my favourites. I do like the Castle Arts, both the original and the gold version, and yeah, I'm not going to stop using them, but I'm sure people would want to see me definitely using like different ones. And I want to do a video where I maybe paint the background, because I know people get curious about painting backgrounds, and often when you watch a video and somebody's already painted the background and then they're just colouring the image because painting takes a while. But yeah, yeah, hopefully I can do that, and I do have some other videos planned, some requests, and I also want to try and I got quite a few new books recently. I don't know why suddenly I needed new books. Like, it happens, right? It happens. Well, there were some new releases, and then some books which I saw which I knew wouldn't be in that shop, like if I went back again. And then I've ordered some PDF books because they were either on sale or they'd been on my wish list for ages. So I'm thinking I might do like a book haul, but I don't know yet. And then obviously at the end of the month I'm going to show my finished pages. I don't think it will be a lot because I don't colour. I colour a lot, but I don't finish a lot. So this month I'll probably do a completed pages video, but going forward after that it might be something like every other month that I would do that. But I've found that since filming I've actually finished a lot more pages than I normally would. So maybe going forward I will have more pages to show, I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to start on this now. So as I said, I want this here to be a pink sort of light. So I'm going to start with this lighter French rose pink and just sort of go like this, and I will be going over those black lines with my white Posca because they can't stay there, can they, if I want it to glow. But if those lines weren't there I wouldn't have been inspired to do this glow. So yeah, it's good that they were there. I don't actually know what that's supposed to be, whether it was supposed to be something like this. As I said, I don't actually know much about Hatsune Miku. I tried looking up before and you get sort of mixed things, and I don't know what's actually the official stuff, and I don't want to be thinking I'm learning about it and then it's actually not, and then you've just sort of wasted your time or something. Right, and now I'm going to take the Bengal Rose Deep and just have it on the outside like so. Hopefully this will look better. I am going to brighten it up, but I first want to get the initial colours down, as I'm only doing this in a light layer at the moment. It will look a lot better once you get rid of the black lines though. Which I will probably go ahead and get rid of the black lines now for this. I've also thought, oh, I haven't done this one, sorry. Who am I saying sorry to? It's like just myself. I do that though. I say sorry and I'm like, it's to myself. Right, so I have my Posca pen. So now I'm just going to go over the black lines. I did pump this before starting the video, but I also don't think this has much left in it, so I'm not sure. I might have to do 2 layers. I will also be taking the black lines of her legs that are in this glow because I want it to be a smooth glow. Yeah, this is going to need 2 layers. It looks okay as you're doing it, but then it dries a bit and you're like, oh no. See, some of these black lines are very thick. Hope everybody's doing okay. Sun is shining. Well, it is here at the moment, but it's supposed to go back to rain again soon, so who knows. It'll be autumn. Is it autumn actually started now? I think it has. Yeah, it's autumn now. And so we'll be seeing some nice autumn colours from the trees, which is nice. Autumn sky is a bit grey, isn't it? But and then you've got winter sky is a bit grey. But you have the days where that are clear and you just like, it feels really fresh. I love them. And the autumn evening skies are normally nice. It's just when it's only clouds and it's like, can we not have some colour back in our lives? That's why autumn's okay though, because you get the colourful leaves and they crunch under your feet until it rains again and then they go all soggy. I don't like that because they're a bit slippery, and as somebody who walks a lot, yeah, you kind of don't want to be stepping on those wet leaves without gripped shoes. Right, this white is bringing in a bit of the pink, but that's actually okay because it's going to be pink anyway. Except for this very middle bit, that needs to stay white. But yeah, the second layer is working, so I'm happy with that. Then I'll just have to wait for it to dry, so I'll pause the video while I let it dry, because else I'm surprised I haven't already put my hand in it. I have like a little space here that I can rest my hand. It's looking a lot better. I might have to do that a bit bigger. But you can kind of see for what I'm going for now, hopefully. Right, just go over that again. The ones up here did a lot better than the ones I started with. I think my pen started flowing better after using it. They sometimes do that. Right, while I'm here, actually, I'm thinking of adding some blue sort of magical light circles. So I think I'm going to do that now as well. And then for the rest of the background, I think I'm going to do it black, like just solid black, to make the neon sort of stand out. So I'm just going to start in a space up here. I mean, these may not even look very good. I'll start with just a light. The same as the pink, I'll come back and deepen them up a bit. But I always find it easier to do lights like this before you colour the illustration, because then you don't have to think when you're actually colouring, oh wait, I've got to leave that space because I want to put a light in there. And plus you know where the lights are, so you can add a bit of that colour sort of near to where you're colouring. And a bit in here, quite a big one I think. So this may or may not turn out looking okay, but I want to try. I'm going to have to get rid of the black lines, which is why I want to do this now, so I can let it all dry up together. Don't know how many to add. Little one over here. I don't want it to be too much, but at the same time I want it to have a balance. I think maybe one down here. One there. What's that? No, seriously, what is that? Oh, it's this ribbon. Oh no, it's hair. Hair? Oh my gosh. Yeah, that might be her hair. And I haven't gone over that line. Like, how have I missed that? Was everybody that has watched this like screaming at me? Right, so I will now go over the black lines that are inside the blue. These shouldn't be as difficult because my pen is working better now. Start at the top. It will look a bit weird to start with, probably, until they're all done. So shoulder. And then, this one. Try not to put my hand in anything now because there's white paint everywhere. So is it just this one that's got black lines left? I think so. Save the hardest one till last because it's got quite a lot. I'm going to make that one quite large. So yep, I think I've got all the black lines. I'm going to let that dry for like 5 minutes maybe, and then I will be back. Right, so it has been 4 or 5 minutes, and I figured I'd just start with a pink just in case a blue needs a bit more. So I'm going to brighten it up now. So on the very edge, I'm going to use this, was it Bengal Rose Deep? A bit of a medium to hard pressure, I would say. Just on the very edge. It may not work as well over where the Posca pen is, but that's okay. And then just go in on the very edge of all of them. Big one. Notice how this is sort of behind. Where does it actually go after? Maybe it's got to start somewhere, doesn't it? Just go with it. Right, that will go there, and now I'm taking my French rose and I will just blend out from that into the lighter area, but I don't want to go too far in. Again, over these white lines it's a bit more difficult. And then I'm just going to take my white and just go over that, hoping that it's dry enough so this doesn't take off the Posca pen, because that can happen. If the Posca pen isn't dry then, and you've got a sharp pencil, it can scratch away at your paint. Right, I think that's as well as it's going to be. So I'm just going to repeat that step for all this. I do want it to be bright. Another way of doing this, probably faster, would be with alcohol markers, but I don't have them with me, so I'm just working with what I have here. Plus I've never actually done this very much with pencils like this, which is why it's like challenging myself, getting better at not taking the easier sort of route. You can only get better at something if you actually try it. But yeah, I'm liking this. White lines are a little bit difficult to colour over, but hopefully it'll absorb the pink a little bit. And white. I may have to pause just a moment. Sorry about that. Yeah. Didn't need to pause it after all. Thought a package was arriving, but it wasn't. Yeah. I may have to suddenly pause though again because there is one expected to be delivered today and I'm the only one here, so I will have to get that. Now where was I? Did I finish the white on this? I don't think I did. I might have done. Right. And now I'm going to do practically the same with the blue lights. So on the edge I'm going to do a little bit darker. The smaller ones are really easy. I'm going to save that big one for last. They always take longer and yeah. So as you can see, I'm just lightly blending it into the centre and then leaving part of it white. I'm going to sharpen this blue slightly. It's on the very edge of her hair, but I'm not going to go over that with the white. I don't think it needs it. I think that'll be fine. Just stay in a black line. Now this bigger one. Watch as I mess up. No, that's happened to me so many times though. I started off like really well with something like this, and then one mistake. Because sometimes you feel like, oh, I can do this, and then you sort of take away some of your concentration, and then it happens. Like sometimes I'll be colouring and I'm just happily colouring, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, that was part of something else, I shouldn't have coloured it that colour. And then you can't take that colour away because you thought you were colouring part of something else and you've already coloured it all in. Oh, I really hate it when that happens. Right, so I'm actually going to take this French rose and not around the whole edge, but on some of the edge. I'm just going to sort of add this colour in because I want to. I feel like it will draw in that pink a bit. Gives it a bit more of an effect as well. Quite nice. I hadn't even planned to do that, I just saw the pink set in there. I was just going to leave them blue. But it just makes it a bit purple, doesn't it? Like that. Right, and now I'm just going to take my white and blend it all in at the centres. I don't mind it looking rough though, to be honest. Because you're not going to be able to go over the white lines very well anyway, like I found out with the pink. Yeah, you know, in like, if you're watching anime or anything and they're always so colourful and creative and very hard to draw. And then what I never understand is when people don't consider anime as art, and I'm like, do you understand what art is? Oh dear. But yeah, I have met some people like that, and it's like they just think it's childish, and oh boy, they do not understand at all. Not at all. But there are things I don't understand, but I'd prefer somebody sort of like teach me rather than say like it's childish or whatever. I wouldn't go up to somebody and go, oh, I don't understand that, it's lame or something like that. If I don't understand something, I either one, carry on not understanding it but I don't hate it, or two, have somebody kind enough to sort of explain. So I don't understand some art, like some of it's complicated, some of it is very abstract, and again I don't understand that, but that's why I like it. If you see an art piece and they have like a description on it and like there's some sort of story behind it or something like that, then it makes it easier to understand where the artist was coming from, because most of the time we just see the finished piece and not the process. And I've gone really off topic. Right, so I want to do the background black, and I don't think you're going to want to see me just colouring black pencil. So basically everywhere in the background, everywhere in the background, I'm just going to first give it a light layer of my black pencil and then just go in and sort of block it. I may, as I get closer, I may add a bit of blue, but I will tell you if I have. If I end up doing that, I might leave a little section to show, or I might not, I might just do it black, who knows. But I will pause the video here and be back in a second for you, but it'll probably take me about 15 minutes. Right, as you can see, I have gone in and done most of it, but because I actually done 2 light layers of black and then I've gone in with the aubergine colour, so it's not actually fully black, it's really, really, really dark aubergine. So I just wanted to tell you that and to show you, like, just on a little part, that this is how I got this colour. And thinking about it now that I've actually done it, I should have done this background last, the black aubergine part, because I just had a great big black smudge down there that I had to rub out because my hand was in it. So thinking about when I'm colouring hair, I'm going to be like, yeah, I need to remember to have a piece of paper or something under my hand so I'm not spreading the colour around. But after I've coloured this part, I am going to take a break, and I'm not sure if I will be back to colour this today or not. It could be tomorrow, or it might be when I'm back home, because my brother does get back tomorrow evening, so it depends if I want to be colouring this tomorrow or not. But I think later I'm going to want to, like, watch a movie or something, and I have to cook dinner, and yeah, so I'm gonna have other things to do later. And it's already, what time is it? It's already 10 to 5, so I need to go and feed the cats, feed myself, and then think about what I want to do this evening. And the lighting's not gonna be very good soon because the sun will go down, and then yeah, I just wanted to come back and show you how I was doing this. And yeah, I like how vibrant it looks now, like the blue and that, the blue and the pink. And if I do end up finishing this at home, I have like a neon pink Posca pen that I might do some little like, you know, like dot highlights around this pink bit. And then obviously I've got white Posca, I might do some star type things and dots, but I will still film the rest of it. I just might not be today, but then I'm going to join these videos together anyway, so you're not even going to have a gap in between. It's more me that's sort of waiting around. So I will see you in a minute, which is probably a few days. Right, until then. Okay, so I'm back again, and it has been more like a week since I last coloured this page, and I am finally home, and so I wanted to come on and try and finish this page again. Whether I finish it all today, I don't know, because it's already the evening, as you can probably tell by this lighting. And yeah, I just want to colour a little bit more at the very least. So I'm going to go in and start colouring her skin. And I will first start lightly putting where I want the shadows with this aubergine, which I used in the background with the black, but obviously it's not going to be that dark as the back. Well, I hope it's not that harsh, not that dark. But yeah, I will be blending other colours in, so should lighten it a little bit. But it's always nice using a purple where you want shadows when doing the skin, I find, but only lightly using it. So I'm going to come in here, and I am going to actually use like the pink and the blue to add some highlights into her, because I believe, well, all these lights around her would create those colours on her skin. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not as good at colouring the manga anime style as I wish I was, but at the end of the day I like colouring things the way I colour them, so I colour it as if it was any other illustration, but it ends up looking different because the line art isn't like realism. But yeah, I go for the similar look as I normally would, but it just ends up looking different, which is nice. So it's still me, but still a different style. That probably doesn't make sense, does it? Yeah, I know what I mean. So yeah, it's been really busy at work and I've been feeling tired once I've got home, which is why it has taken me until the weekend to come back and try and finish this. I have been colouring other pages, but I wanted to make sure I was colouring this one whilst filming, which is why it's now Saturday evening. Yeah, I hope everybody's still doing alright. Hopefully your work week wasn't as busy as mine, although I do prefer it when it's busy. It makes the time fly by, like literally I don't know where half of those days went. And I don't know how I'm shading this. Like, I don't think I've ever coloured a hand that was in this position before, with lights and everything around. But yeah, I just try. That's all you can do, isn't it? Doesn't look bad. Now the legs, that's going to be considerably darker. But then she's got the light shining from multiple angles here, so I don't want to add too much shadow in other areas, just near where her clothes would be. And then the bottom part is her socks, so I won't colour that in with the skin colour at all. I don't know what colour to do her clothes yet. I really should have thought about it before starting to film, but I suppose I can pause it and think in a bit, or keep thinking as I'm colouring her skin. Right, so next colour, I'm going to add these pinks and blues so I know where I want my sort of glow light to be hitting her face and stuff. So I see a blue one here, so I want to put a bit of blue in her skin around here. Again, this is just like an experiment. It may not end up looking very good, but I hope. I really, really hope. So I think, again, I will be adding skin colours on top to blend these colours sort of together. And when I colour her eyes, I will add some of this in. I might go ahead and do that now. Like just add some blue in. And then there's more blue light around her like skin area, like her hand here as well. So I want to add a bit of that in. But it doesn't need to be everywhere because it might not hit everywhere. Like this hand back here, I'm not going to add any of the highlight onto that. And then on her leg here, this blue is right in front of her leg. I think that would create quite a blue there. But then the other leg, I'm not going to put any blue in. And now I'm going to go in with the pink. And this leg, I think, would still have a bit of the pink on, as well as the blue. And this leg, I'm going to put some of the pink on. I'm not going to put any pink on her hand here, but I might just put some on the end here. I don't know, maybe a tiny bit on these two, because I do imagine this is not that far from that blue. And then on this side of her face, I think this bit that's going behind her would light up that area. And I might still get my like white Posca and outline some of where these lights are. I don't know yet. But yeah, I think that's enough for on her skin for the lights. So I'm going to go back to skin colours, which I'm now going to go in with the coral, which is my medium tone, and go on these shadows and blend them out. You can already see it creating a different skin tone than what was just there a moment ago. It looks more like a skin tone now. Oh, I was supposed to add some pink in her cheeks. Even though it's not the highlight, I still wanted some pink in her cheeks. I'll just use that same pink anyway. So that's going to look a bit purple because it's on top of the blue, but that's okay. So we'll blend that slightly. Go around where her eye is. Now when we get to here, I'm not going to go over all of the blue with this middle tone. I think I'm going to use my lighter tone, except for in tiny places. Like, I think that's enough mid-tone here. Go over to this side of the face, where it's going to be a little bit easier to blend because of the blue not being on this side. But again, I don't want to go over the whole of this pink because it is supposed to be the lighting. I may have gone in with too much of this mid-tone. That's okay. I can work with that. I just ended up liking the colour it was creating. Onto her hand. is a bit difficult. The hand. Because like I said, I don't know how the shadows would even normally be on this hand, let alone with adding these lighting parts in. Anybody else really struggle with hands? I think it's like a major thing among people of that colour, isn't it? It's either hands or hair, or there's some people that really hate colouring faces, which I can understand all of them, because at one point or another I've not liked colouring all of them. And then you just slowly begin to find a way that works for you. Like most of the time I don't mind colouring hands now, but like I said, this is a different position than what I'm used to. I think that'll do for that. Onto the legs. I am pressing down quite hard with this. Not hard, but enough to smush the colour. I do want to be able to tell that it has skin. I need to sharpen this one a moment. Oh, that might have been too much. Press lightly. Yep. So I am pressing a lot lighter now, but as you know, with a sharp pencil you don't need to press as hard to get colour flowing. But obviously I'm not able to smush as easily, because the pressure is normally what smushes your colours. So now I just call it blending. Call it what it is. Right, I think that's enough of the mid-tone. I am now going to take my lighter tone, which is tangerine, and just sort of blend the mid-tone out, making it smooth. I think I'll go on top of the lighter areas with my white though to blend it. It's just a couple of these areas that I want to still have that skin tone in. That isn't blending as well as I would have hoped. But a white can work miracles, especially when you have a good white. I really like the Faber-Castell Polychromos white. Going with on the hands. I am recording, right? Yes. Good. I bet I'm not the only one that sometimes thinks that. Am I recording? I haven't actually checked it before and not been recording, so that's a good sign, but I just know that there'll come a day. There will be a day when I am filming, but I'm not really filming. It's just gonna happen at some point, isn't it? And then you just like hope, but it really doesn't. I do think this hand looks like a hand, which is all I ask for. But that's mostly just because of the outline that they've given me, that it's actually ended up looking like a hand. You did a good job. Now the legs. Leave that bit the white. Right, so I will go in with the white now. I'll start with the legs because I already focused on it. And it will just blend that blue into a smoosh with the other colours. I love that word, smoosh. Get that pink nice and blended. Just starting to shake the page there, sorry about that. The white's sort of giving it a glow, which is exactly what I wanted. So I'm really happy with that. Into the hand. Hand doesn't need much work because the other pencils kind of did it for me. But like I said, I might still go around with my Posca on like some areas, but that would probably be near the end of completing this page. Like here, the outline of her face here, I might make that white. It might add to the effect of the light and make it not as harsh a transition. And I forgot to add some of the pink into her eyes like I did the blue. I don't want to add much of the pink though. I don't even know what colour I'm doing her eyes. Might just make them like dark, because then the pops of the colour, like in the background, they'll pop out, won't they? But yeah, I'm really happy with that skin. Now, time for her clothes or her hair. It's a difficult decision. I think I'm going to pause the video a moment while I decide, as the video will just be me sitting here going, and do we really want that? Probably not. So, back in a second. Okay, after thinking about it, I am definitely not going traditionally her normal colours, and I'm going to do her hair purple. I thought that with this blue and pink light, and it's probably going to be the easiest colour to blend like the light effect into it. It might not give it a strong light, but yeah. But at the same time, I don't know whether to give it like a purpley silver look, like a very pale purple, but I don't know. I will see how it goes as I'm colouring it. So I'm just going to first give it a base layer of this purple lake and then go from there. I will add the blue and the pink in after I've given it a base of this colour. And I'm hoping this is all in frame. Oh, let me just bring it out a little bit. Hopefully that you can see it, the whole image. Before I had it a little bit further in because I knew you only needed to see the skin. Now normally I would have the book at a different angle for colouring something like this. I like to colour in the same direction as the hair is flowing. so my book moves around a lot normally. Because I just find that if you colour in the way that something is flowing, then if you accidentally make a line, like press down too hard, then it can be incorporated easier into the actual part of the illustration. I make many mistakes. This bit here, that line is so much thicker and I have no idea what it is. So I might have to white that one out, which makes me think I should go for the purple silver sort of tone of hair. But at the same time, I don't really know how to do that. Right, so this is her hair, and then I'm guessing it goes off of the page and comes back around here. But yeah, to start with, I thought this was like a ribbon. And then I remembered, wait, she has like super long hair. And then this one goes around, wee, and just comes back out this side. Goes down here. This one seems longer because I think this one sort of trails off a lot on the page. And then this part down here, I am just assuming it's part of her hair as well. And just gonna colour that the same colour, because other than her hair, I have no idea what that could be. I could have just blacked it out like the background, but it was a part of the illustration. Right, then, oh, I haven't even done the top part. That was me about to say, right, on to the next colour. Again, this probably would be easier if, like, had an alcohol marker base. But I decided I started this with only pencils, so I'm going to finish it with only pencils. Right, I definitely think purple will be the right choice, hopefully. Right, so I said I was going in with my next colour, but that is, I did say I was going to do the highlights first, and I think that will probably be easier. Right, so I'm getting my pink and my blue again. That's the cerulean blue middle and the French rose, in case I forgot to say before. I've definitely mentioned the French rose, but I don't know if I've said that it's the cerulean blue. Right, so this one here is definitely going to impact her fringe part. I'm just going to put a bit in here. Or if you're from another country and you call them bangs, which I don't know why they are called bangs, but then again I don't know why it's called a fringe. So either way it can be, yeah. But yeah, in the UK we call them a fringe. But I guess they're called bangs because it's like, I don't know, you can bang against your face. It just sounds weird though, bangs. I remember when I first heard it and I was like, what in the world are they talking about? They're gonna go to the hairdressers and get some bangs. Oh dear. I guess when you're from any country and you hear some other places phrases, it's gonna be a bit weird. It's like, I think it's Australia that calls flip-flops thongs, and yeah, in the UK thongs is like underwear, so saying that you're wearing thongs on your feet, I still find that one hilarious, but I think a lot of people find that hilarious. But it's their way of calling it, so. I'm going to add a bit of the pink cones now into some of this. So a bit on here. But then I also have to remember some of this is like the light is coming from behind, so it might not be on this hair as much as I'm colouring it to be. Yeah, hopefully it'll all work out in the end. Got pink coming from everywhere. That bit's going to be quite pink because the light seems to go right past that. And because it is an anime style image, I'm not going to make her hair look too realistic. Oops. Can't see where that landed then. Yeah. Hopefully what I'm envisioning I can pull off. I do want a bit of this blue in this bit. I feel like that would be there. Right, I think that's enough of those colours, and I'll just go back in with my purple lake and start deepening up where the shadows would be. But I do want to leave her hair quite pale, because like I said, I want to try and go for that pale, I say silvery colour, but it's just pale purple at this point. It's going to be mostly purple. And then I will go over the black lines with my white Posca pen. So not all of this is going to be visible after I've gone over with the white Posca and blended it all out with the white. So it looks rough at the moment, but that should smoothen out later on. I say this a lot, but I hope. Because a lot of my colouring is just hopeful thinking that if I do this then it will turn out. I just have fun putting colour where I want it, and that's all any of us really do. Some people obviously have more of a sort of understanding of colours than that, but I didn't learn anything like that when I was in art at school. Like, I don't remember learning how to use colour at all. Like, if we were using some colour, we were just told to use it. I remember when we were using like just graphite pencils, we had a demonstration from the teacher of how to blend it from dark to light, but I don't remember anything like that for when using like coloured pencils, which is strange now that I think about it, unless I was like ill or anything when that happened. I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe they just thought that was already taught, and then obviously nobody had taught me that. That's why for a long time I had no idea what to do with coloured pencils. Like, I know this sounds like really dumb and silly, but I didn't know how to put two colours together and make it like a smooth blend. Like, I thought you just had to colour like really hard to get the colour to be the same colour as the pencil. I didn't know that you could build your colours up. And yeah, like I feel like that's something basic that you should be taught. But yeah, I don't remember ever having that lesson. But most of our stuff was done sort of drawing. I don't think our school had the best of art. Still my favourite lesson, don't get me wrong. Still my favourite subject. And when you're that age, you don't know any better. But I know people that have gone to different schools, and I was like, you made things out of clay? And like, you had easels and painted? And I'm like, we barely got paint out, like, ever. Which I really wish we did, because I quite enjoy paint. Like, we would have like one lesson on paint, and then we'd go back to normal pencils. I don't know. I don't know what our art lessons were. It was like we were given something to draw and we would just draw it. There's probably more that I'm forgetting, but because it was a long time ago, but that's what I remember, which is quite sad. Considering, again, it's my favourite subject. I'm going to do that bit a bit darker. I like doing the tips of the hair darker because I feel like it sort of curves and goes in a bit, so that bit would be darker, and then it makes it look slightly more 3D if I darken this area up as well in the centre of the hair. I'll do that in a moment. But yeah, it doesn't always look great, but I try. That's all we can do, is try and try again. I like how this blue and purple are going together. Now I always struggle with doing this. Always, without fail, try to get it look like it's all going to the centre of the hair. That's probably as best as I'm going to get it. Right, have I missed any of the purple? Have I missed any strands of hair? That is a very good question. Scanning over it, it seems like I've got all the areas that I need done. So now I'm going to go in with the white and just blend this to a smoother finish. And then I'll just go over the black lines with the white Posca pen, which I don't actually have out at the moment. I think it's only in my pencil case though, so that's okay. And I'm not going to go in with a black on her hair for shadows or anything, because I do want to keep it that pale colour, and adding the black I feel like it would make it a bit too dark. I think adding that dark layer of purple was enough. My air freshener did just go off if you heard like a spritz sound in the background. Gotta keep that room smelling nice. This definitely went better than expected, this hair. I mean, it still can go wrong, but I think I'm past the point of going majorly wrong. Still don't like that black line. It's like it was supposed to be something, and I've just completely missed what it was. I might put a bit of blue in that strand of hair there actually. So that does look like it would have it on. Oh, I loved how that blended together then. Do you ever do that? Like you're blending and it's so satisfying. Sometimes it's not satisfying though if you haven't put the colours down like evenly enough, and then you get a splodge that's really dark and out of place. I was supposed to put a piece of paper under my hand to stop it going black. I'm lucky that is not black. Which probably means I still won't put a piece of paper there now. Because I'm like, I've already done this much. But yeah, when I first started colouring that background, my hand was smudging it everywhere. Although you probably already know that, because for you it's only been a few seconds until I started filming this again, whereas for me it's been a week, a literal week. Like I filmed the rest of it, the first part Saturday last week, and now it's Saturday this week. Yeah, it's the 30th of September today. And I just filmed my finished pages video for the month, and yeah, I was gonna finish this first, but then I thought I don't know if I'm going to finish the whole of this because I didn't know how I was colouring certain parts like the hair, and so I decided to finish my completed pages videos first, and then I thought I can just include this in next month's or when I film it, because I did mention in that video that there might not be a finished pages video every month. Like if I only complete 2 pages, I will just wait until the next month to be able to film it, because I feel like that would be a bit of a waste of a video. It'd be like probably 4 minutes long, not even that, for 2 pictures. I'd probably have to try and spend longer on each time explaining a page. But yeah, I have found though that since making videos I have been colouring more than I was before, which is really nice, because that means having this YouTube channel, like, it has a good positive outcome. Even if people aren't watching the videos, it's still helpful for me when colouring, which is really nice. Right, now I need my white Posca pen. Where are they? Yeah. I have like 3 white Posca pens and they all end up in different pencil cases, and I'm not sure if this is the one that works. So I'm just going to that did just splatter on me when I shook it then. It was a good job I wasn't anywhere near my page. So it definitely has paint left in it, and I definitely pumped it too much. So let's see if it will go over these hair strands. This may be a good or a bad idea, I don't know until I've done it. And the first ones always look weird. So don't give up hope when you're first going over black lines. This Posca pen, I don't like it. I am going to try and find my other one, so I will just pause it real quick. Alright, I found my other one. It was in the pencil case that I took to my brother's house, which makes sense. Ah, much better. Yeah, I may go into focus mode and be very quiet because I get terrified of doing things like this on a book. I mean on a page. I mean my words are never good, but they get worse. So this will hopefully give it that lighter tone that I was going for. Having much luck with Posca pens. I may need to buy a couple of new ones. I mean, I do have one new one. That's still in the packaging. Got to try and do this strategically so I don't end up putting my hand in it. That bit's gonna need 2 layers. That is a lot thicker. Yeah, this isn't coming through very opaque. But I have used this one a lot recently. So just that might be better. Can't really see that line up there, but I'm still going to put the white Posca there because I know it's there. My throat just went really dry then. That's how nervous I am about doing this. At least that harsh black line's gone now. I'm not going to bother with that because I think I went over that with the background colour. Good thing about doing this as well is there are slight tiny parts where I got the background colour on her hair, but now they're gone. thin with that pink. A little bit on her hair there, and now it's gone. I did think about doing her hair green, but I thought that would look really odd for some reason. So maybe another character, but this one, no thank you. It might have been easier to leave this white Posca to the end when I had finished her clothes and everything, but I don't know, I just wanted to do it now so I could make sure I liked it, really. Because it kind of, if you do the rest of the page like really well and then you do this at the end and then you're like, oh no. Whereas if I do it now and I don't like it, I can sort of try and fix it and not feel sort of pressured about it, but at the moment I really like it. So I'm happy so far. Take this one down here a moment because that's simple. Right, now this side. I should really focus then. That gets rid of those black lines that I wasn't sure about as well. Quite nice. Alright. Now this top bit again, I would change the angle of the book if I wasn't filming this. So may have to go in quite slowly. Right, where did I finish off? I didn't like it when I was doing it here. Completely missed the black line then. I sometimes do that. I'm trying to be so careful about not going too far into the hair if I don't hit it at all. Do you ever go around over the top of your black lines to try and create softer colours? Or have you ever thought of trying but been too scared? I would definitely suggest trying it on a page first that maybe you don't mind if it doesn't go right. Like with anything new, really. I've done this before and I really liked it when I did it on it was an illustration of Luna from Harry Potter, and I put it all over her hair because she has that like white blonde hair in the film. Oh, that went a bit wrong. Right, this is where I'm going to struggle because, like I said, I normally would turn the book at this sort of part. I can get in there. I'm going to not go over some of them. Right. My arm's at a really weird angle. I'm actually kneeling on the floor right now to try and get a better angle. Because my desk is near my bed, so I just sort of sit on the edge of my bed to colour at the desk. I'll be honest, most of the time I colour sitting in bed because it's really comfortable. Like really, really comfortable. And I just colour better. But obviously I can't film a video while sat in bed. Well, I could try, but I don't want to. No thank you. Because after a while you have to, well, you have to move, don't you? You can't just sit in the same place. And I would end up shaking everything, and I don't think that would be a good idea. Right, just colour up all of the lines left on the hair. I'm completely missing that. I almost instinctively turned the book then. I had to stop my brain from telling my hand to move it. Right, I think that's all of them that I can see. And I do love how this part's turned out, especially, which is the main part of her hair's sort of focused in on, so I'm happy with that. And I'm just going to do her eyebrows white. So I'm going to go in there with the white and over here with the white, just to make it easy for myself. I will leave her eyelashes black though. I think that went well. Right, I'm going to pause it again while I think of the colours of her outfit, because I haven't got a clue. Like, I really, really don't. Back in a mo. Right, so that took like 5 minutes. And I have decided to have some Venetian Blue Deep in there somewhere, probably for her skirt and parts. And I'm also going to use a purple deep. I'm going to try and stick with this sort of purple, blue, pink situation that's going on. I didn't really want to add any more colours. So I'm going to start with the skirt. Like, I'm going to bring you in slightly. Right. Like that. Move the light a bit because you're getting a glare now. Maybe I shouldn't have zoomed in. Okay, so on the skirt I'm gonna do a light layer of this Venetian Blue Deep on this part. I'm gonna leave the edging because I don't know what colour to do that yet. But again, I'm gonna add those pinks and blues in for some light touches. So maybe I'll do the trim like as a white and just add a bit of those colours in. I think that might be a good idea, because I was thinking about doing white socks as well, because with the black background I think doing black socks might be a bit much, but I also thought maybe grey socks, so white or grey is probably where I'm going to go. I'm going to use this pencil just to sort of mark where I want, like here it's got sort of squiggles. I'm going to use them to add sort of where I think the fabric would sort of be moved. And I am doing this on that part as well because that part will be included and that's going to be a shadow whatever colour I do it. This bit here is very confusing for me. Very, very confusing squiggle. But yeah, I'm now just going to go in where I think would be shaded a bit more. So under her clothes he is definitely going to be darker, and I will bring in the black for shadows on this. I'm not overly fussed about how well this looks. I don't know why, but the skirt isn't interesting for me. It's a bit awkward. I don't know what sort of skirt it was supposed to be. Like that would have that. Right, and now I need to get those blues and pinks. I'm not too keen on how this is going, if I'm honest. A lot of blue's gonna be in this area because of that ginormous glow ball. I still don't know what I'm calling these things. Magical lights. And then the pink is going to be more over this area, and then I'll put some on this. Hopefully when I add the darker shadows it's going to look slightly better. Right, I will start with the black now, mostly in these areas. I still want to keep it quite light when it comes to the tone of it, but because that's under her top. I do like that a bit more now actually, now that there's black there. That bit under there I feel will be shadowed. I still don't know about this side. I haven't a clue what was going on over here. It's like the back of her skirt and then it flings out at the side, but at the same time I'm not sure if there's more going on than that. Yeah, right now I'm going to take my Venetian Blue Deep again and just blend the black out, and then I'll go in with the white and finish off blending the lighter colours. It is definitely looking more like a skirt now, I think. I hope you can see that as well. Oh, I wasn't supposed to go in that. I'll do that bit in there just to blend that black. What colour would you have done her in? Or if you have this book, have you coloured it? A lot of people tend to stray away from the anime style though. I don't know why. Not everybody's cup of tea, I guess, but then there are other people that only colour anime style images. So I like a bit of everything to colour. As long as there's not too many leaves. I can't be... leaves. Oh dear. I don't know if you've watched anything where I've explained my hatred of leaves. I don't mind if there's a few leaves, but if you get more than like 10 or 20 leaves on a page, I'm gonna really love the rest of the illustration to be able to colour it. Because I just had a couple of pages in a row that had a lot of leaves on, and it was difficult. I didn't colour for a while after that. This was before I got into proper adult colouring, like a lot though. It was about 2017 or something when those Harry Potter colouring books came out. And the only reason I finished them was because it was a Harry Potter colouring book. But yeah, leaves. Whew. So I doubt you'll see me colouring anything with 100 leaves on in anytime soon. That I did really scratchy. I will be getting my white Posca pen out in a minute for the edge of this skirt, so I may just go over that bit. So it's kind of like a grey skirt, but I didn't use a grey. Right, I do want to just go over this bit. Just felt like it. Yes, I'm just going to go over that bit a minute, and I will add pink back on top to blend it, but it's looking really scratchy. Again, my air freshener. That means I've been sat here colouring for at least another 32 minutes. I think I have it set on. You'd think it'd be 30 minutes, but I think it says it goes off every 32 minutes. You can set it to different times, but that's the longest interval. Any more than that, and I think you'd just be hearing the spritzer sound every, well, it would be like every 9 minutes. I think it's 9, 16 and 32 you can set it to. I'm not sure where they came up with the idea of those times. But yeah. Ooh, I like those white lines. I do. So yeah, I will wait for this bit to dry and go over it with a bit of pink, just to blend it together with the Posca. Right. Trying to think. Should I do the top now or the socks? I think I might do the socks. So I'm going to move that down a little bit. I'm just going to leave it at that terrible angle for a minute, just to do the socks quickly. And I am just going to do them white actually. So I'm going to put in a little bit of this blue in places and a bit of pink, and then just blend it with the white and call that socks. I'm okay with that. Get the white out. Where's it here? Make sure it's got none of that grey colour on it. Just blend that out. I don't think you need to do everything complicated. You can't even see much of the socks anyway, so because I did get rid of a lot of it as well with having that light. I am going to go over the outside of the socks with the white Posca though, because you can see it where I've gone over the black line, and then you've got the black line here. It looks like it sort of shifts, like it's not all there. Right. Oh, that looks straighter already. And I just realised I may have accidentally been inspired to do that colour hair by the colour of my nails that I have at the moment. Yeah, painted them a couple of days ago. But yeah, I like to change my nail colours, but sometimes I can't be bothered, and then they look scruffy for a while. And I'm just going to go over her leg there with this white pen, because there's a black mark, which means I should do this side as well. That's part of her sock. Getting that white. I will go over that with the skin colour though. I won't leave that white. And I am just going to do a slight bit of black shadowing here. And that's it. That's her socks done. She's looking very sort of, I don't know the word, holographic? Hologram? Yeah, that's not the right word, is it? Or is it holographic? Anyway, moving on before I start boring people. Right, I'm going to take my Purple Deep, and hopefully this will look okay on her top. I'm not sure. It's this colour, so it's like in between a pink and a purple, but it's also slightly red toned, so hopefully I'm going to just start with a light layer anyway. But this is going to be like a lot bolder than what I've just been colouring. And I'm going to leave the trim of her clothing, and I'm probably just going to keep that white. And I have no idea what colour to do that tie. I haven't thought about the tie yet. It might just come to me after I finish colouring the rest of her clothes. Sometimes that happens. I like it when that happens. I don't really want to do it white because I've already done so much just white. I've also got to colour in her mouth and finish her eyes off. I also have no idea how I'm going to shade this top. It has a lot of open space, I really should have put the blue and the pink in first. I really should have. Just tell myself it'll be okay. I would definitely go in with that blue and pink next before I deepen any of this up though. Right. So blue, definitely going to be some blue in here. And on her sleeve. Although it's blending quite nicely, it's looking a lot like her hair colour though, which is not a good thing. It'll be fine once I add the other colour. That's going to have a lot of blue on it. I think there'll be some here as well. And then some pink. Sort of line it up with how I put it on the skirt a bit, I think would be a good idea. This arm's gonna be a lot of pink on that. Back of her top there. Almost called it a skirt. That will do for that, and now I just got to go back with my purple deep. Like I said, it does look more of a reddy colour purple. It's a tiny bit plum-like. And then I'll just blend it with the white. Keep it simple. I don't want to do it too dark because it will just merge in with the background. I really don't want that. Maybe I should have picked a different colour. It's too late for that now. But I don't think I could have got away with a lighter colour because of it would have just blended in with the hair and everything. This is what I've got to take my time a little bit more to decide where these shadows are going to be. I will add a little bit of black in where the deeper shadows are, like I did on the skirt. But it should. Just going to use these creases as sort of guideline a moment. Sometimes they're very helpful, even if there's no grayscale, you can follow creases. Because you know a crease will have a shadow. But it's also knowing well, when a crease goes in and when a crease goes out, and I can't always get it spot on. But as long as it's like close enough, I'm happy. That's why if you're not sure, always start with lighter layers and building it up. Because you can always make things darker, but it's harder to make things lighter again. I'm starting to like this colour now. Like I said, you can't just judge off of how you start it, because it's very rare that something looks how you want it to until you've done quite a lot of it. It's like this arm, I'm now happy going in a little bit darker because I see how it looks on other parts. And that's going to be shadows. I think I'm going to need to sharpen this in a moment, but it's giving me a nice soft glide at the moment, which is nice. Sometimes it's easier to work with a blunt pencil for lighter layers rather than a sharp one, because when it's sharp it can be not as smooth to lay down. Great for detailing a point, but not so good if you need soft touches. So that was shadowed. So I'm going to follow that shadow on a little bit, but the angle of her body as well isn't easy. Curve around like that, I think. Yeah, why not? Looks decent enough for now. So it's going to take a lot of time, so yeah, I hope you're ready to watch a lot of just detailing, just giving it a good sharpen, because it was getting a bit too blunt. Right, so that bit goes under, which again is another interesting shape, which doesn't make sense much to me. But I'm just following the illustration. That's all I think I can do. Might need a bit of blue in there. That's quite a lot. Right. I'm gonna just go on the inside of here because I know that's just shadowed quite a bit. I'm not gonna make it too dark though, because I believe that some of the lights would end up showing in there. But I will still go in with my black in there. Gosh, I thought something just landed on me then. Oh dear. No, it was just off of my clothes. A bit of the tassel bit sort of dropped down onto my leg. Oh my gosh. I'll never forget the time when a spider landed on me. Oh, never forget that. I hate them. I hate them. They're fine if they're outside, but as soon as they enter a space where normally would be a space where I'm relaxed, like home, then they have to go. I'm sorry, they cannot be here. It's either catch and release, or if that's not possible, then desperate times call for desperate measures. So you just do what you gotta do, or get somebody else to handle it for you. I don't know how people can just pick up spiders and chuck them out the door. Oh. But yeah, my dad does that. I'm glad there's somebody around that does that. But yeah, I kind of like to keep a glass nearby in case of an emergency. I don't really think about keeping a glass nearby, but like always have like a drink or something, so it's always handy when one tries to invade your space to have defensive weapons. But yeah, that evening when one landed on my arm. It dropped from the ceiling, landed on my arm, and I actually had a knife and fork in my hands, and I literally shoved it off of my arm with my fork, and yeah, it landed in a bowl, which I was like, I didn't aim for that, but great, thank you for landing in something it couldn't get out of. The bowl was empty, so it didn't have any of my food in it. And then I literally just had to like stick a book on top of the bowl and take it outside. So it was like, that was probably the easiest removal of a spider, but also the most traumatic experience of a spider. Oh, but yeah, never had that happen again, and I never want it to happen again. Oof. I've never liked spiders, but that moment, it made me a little bit paranoid afterwards. Like for the next week I'd be like checking the ceilings, and then yeah, eventually it just got better and moved on. But every now and again, like just then, and you see something move, you're like, spider, not this again. And it's getting up to that season now where they all try to come inside. Through the summer we've been quite lucky, haven't had to really deal with any inside, but now it's getting to autumn. With our house and where it is, we tend to get them, find their way in. It's like, how do they even find their way in? Like, especially when you start closing all your windows and doors, because it's not the weather for it to be open anymore. But now they somehow find a way in. Mostly like plug holes, I think. Oh, Oh my gosh, I hate it when you see one on the bathroom wall. Even worse if you're in the bath. Oh, no. Not for me. One of my cousins has a pet spider. I've never seen it. I never want to see it. I've only seen photos. But yeah, nope. I don't know how my auntie lives in that house with him. Like, because she's like scared of spiders as well, like worse than me. And whew, I couldn't live in a house with a spider. No. A snake? Yeah, I could live in a house with a snake. Spider? Nope. Nope, nope. It's like I have a fear of dogs as well, and I could gradually get used to having a dog around, I think, as long as it wasn't like a overly sort of jumpy, loud dog, if that makes sense. And I could like grow to like be okay around that, because I got used to being around my grandparents' dog. But yeah, a spider, I think I would always be on edge, like has it escaped? Yeah, I don't think I could do that. Nope. No thank you. Absolutely not. Right, I'm going to take my white now. Stop babbling on about spiders, because I also find that whenever I see a spider related like post on social media, whether it's a video, a picture or anything, one will miraculously turn up in my bedroom. Like, not anywhere else, always my bedroom. So I feel like if I keep talking about spiders, one's gonna come just crawling on up, and I'm like, no. So I'm gonna change the subject now. Don't know what to do though. Yeah, I am gonna need to put a bit of black in this. Still don't know what colour to do her tie. And there was nobody around to ask for opinions at the moment, so not that anybody ever gives me opinions on how I colour anyway. Nobody's really interested around me. My sister-in-law colours, but not as regular as I do. She recently showed me her pictures that she had recently done though, and I love them. They're fantastic. It's in the Lulu Mayo book. But she's also another person that doesn't think they're doing a good job when they are. I'm also not very good at giving compliments, so I don't know if I come across sounding like I mean it or not, but I really do. Like, they're great. Because I'm not good at taking compliments either. I don't think I'm used to them. Now that I've done this colour, I do like it. But to start with, whew, I was worried. Because I had to try and think of a colour that I could blend the pink and blue in and it not look completely ridiculous. I know that I could blend it in with any colour really, because you get all different colour clothes in life, and you don't think, oh, I'm going to be under a blue light, I'm going to wear this colour clothes. I mean, maybe you do. I'm guessing that goes into consideration with people doing photography and stuff like that, the colour of the lighting to what's being worn. But like in general, everyday life, I don't think people consider that. Because obviously all the lights you come into contact with in the day and the night are going to be different. Ooh. I may need to sharpen this white. It's starting to get a little bit difficult. Oh, I've also got to do her hair. What would you even call them? Normally it'd be hair bubbles, but they are definitely different hair accessories. Let's just go with that. I'm not sure if I put enough pencil colour down on this part. It'll be fine. I just keep saying that, don't I? It'll be fine. Just be optimistic. The topic of spiders just came back into my head. Oh dear, it's not going to be good. I'm definitely going to find one somewhere. I can feel it. Let's get back in this part a minute. I feel like that needs to be smoothed out a bit. I might give her a black trim on her thing. No, I don't think that'd look right. But I'm going to go in with the black shadows. Let's see what that looks like afterwards. I feel like that would come down here. I don't know. Put a little bit of black in this bit, but again I'm not sure there'd be much of a shadow on this outer part because of so much lights going around. That looks okay to me. Yeah, I'm really not sure on the trims. I'm just gonna do it black. Yeah, go for it. Go for it, don't regret it. Might look a bit weird, that's okay. I suppose I could have done it with like a silver gel pen or something, couldn't I? You only think of these things after you start. Oh well, that's fine. She needed a little bit of contrast in her. I'm going to let a little bit of blue into that one. And a little bit of pink into that one. Actually, I might just do that one black. It's very small. Put that one on her sleeve. This is what I mean though, on this one. You can't see the trim because of the background. This one will be okay though, because it's got the clothes. Just a little bit too hard then. Indentations on the paper. Do it black and just go in on all the little frills. Yeah, it'll be okay black. But again, this trim, you can't see it again. Might put some white dots on it. Sometimes that helps when something's a little bit strange looking. I just get the Posca pen out and add dots. We'll first add that blue to that. You won't be able to see it, but it's there. Right. Don't know whether to add the white dots or not. I'll start with this trim. Just do it in the little groovy bits. Yeah, I quite like that actually. I will add the dots. Oh, I've really been colouring enough for the air freshener to go off again. This is a long one compared to what I was first imagining. Still got to think of a colour for that tie. My gosh. I think I'd do her eyes next. That just went really badly wrong. That's fine though. Yeah, I do prefer it with the dots. Right. Wait for that to dry slowly. I am going to put a little bit of shadow on her eyebrows to match her sort of skin. I can do her mouth. That'll only take 2 seconds. Bit of black shadow. And then I'll get a bit of the colour that I just used on her clothes. And then a bit of the Bengal Rose Deep. That'll do. And I will add her teeth back in with a white Posca. And because I've pretty much coloured over them, I think. Oh gosh. This is the time when I would manoeuvre the book. There we go. Right, her eyes. I think I should be okay to just go in and colour her eyes. I might just go in with the black. It has to go over her eyelashes. These are gonna be so bold compared to her, the rest of her. Sorry if you can't see, I do have to get quite in there. And then I am going to add white Posca dots. It may have been a bad idea to do this black, but I don't know why, but adding white Posca dots to things makes things look better. I do have to go on the sides and add a slight colour. But yeah, I just want her eyes to be dark. First I'm going to take this tangerine, just go in the corners of the eyes, like that, and then Posca again to add some light. I never know where to put this light sort of things, but since there's loads of light shining around her, I feel like you'd see some of those in the reflection of those big eyes. Right, now I've just got the tie and the hair accessories, as I'm calling them. Oh my gosh, that's barely been on camera. I forgot. I'm so sorry. So sorry. I only just thought about like zooming it in a bit so you could see the tie and the hair accessories. That's from when I did the socks, wasn't it? I'm sorry, it is getting late, so my brain's obviously gone. Not that it was there in the first place. Right, so tie colour. Don't know whether to do it like pink. I really don't know. And her hair accessories. I might do her hair accessories the same sort of colour that I did her skirt. Let's go for that because I can't think. So Venetian Blue Deep. But I will darken it up a bit to make it look like a silver. A silvery silver. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to take the black for this and darken that up. If they end up just looking black, that's okay, I guess. Right, I'm gonna put a bit of blue in because they are near a lot of the blue and the pink. Just add blue and pink to everything. Oh, not much pink over there though, so I won't do that one. And the black. That black doesn't look black. And white. So once you know what you want to colour it like, it doesn't actually take that long. It's my thought process that I think makes me take longer sometimes on illustrations. Right, that's that done. And then a tie. Maybe the same colour again. Because I'm adding the black and the pink and the blue, it ends up having a nice tone to it anyway. So just to really save time on thought process, I'm just going to go for it. Light layer. I think I'll put my blue and pink in now. Oh, helps if I have the pencil around the right way. Oh, are you still seeing this? Yes. I should check more often, right? Note to self. Make sure people can see what I'm doing. So yeah, I hope you didn't miss too much of that. You just sat there listening to me talking about spiders. Oh dear, I'm so sorry. Getting with the black and the darkest areas. Bit's going to be slightly dark. And I'll just put a little bit of dark on the edge. Here. Blend it with the Venetian Blue Deep. And then it'll just be the white. And then it will be done. In a way, I can't believe that I actually finished this. I thought I was going to have to come back tomorrow and finish this off. Because there was quite a lot still left to be done. And for me to get all of that, like all the different elements, coloured in one sitting, that is quite a lot for me. I thought I would stop after I'd done the skirt and the socks and her hair. I didn't think I would carry on after that. But again, doing it as a video, it sort of pushed me a bit. And it's like, I can do it, I know I can do it, but yeah, it doesn't always work that way. Right, let me have a look on camera. So I'm going to bring you out so you can see the whole illustration. And that is Hatsune Miku complete. I'm really happy with that. I don't know, I like the way the light is, that blue glow is on her face. And the way her socks just don't look real, you know? Like, they've got the blue and the pink in, and it just makes them look sort of, well, it's an anime image, but animated. So I guess that kind of makes sense in that way. But yeah, I'm really happy with how that turned out in the end. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you'll join again in the future.